alcohol and cigarettes. Attitudes towards anxiety. More than a quarter of people felt that feeling anxious was a sign of not being able to cope. But 50% disagreed, and nearly three-quarters, 74% of people, said anxiety was not something to be ashamed of. The age of anxiety appears to be defined by the pressures and uncertainties of modern life. However, the Mental Health Foundation's report concludes that anxiety stems as much from concern for family, friends, and relationships as it does from the demands of the outside world. The bottom line is that people can experience anxiety and anxiety disorders related to just about anything. Everyone gets nervous or anxious from time to time, when speaking in public, for instance, or when going through financial difficulty. For some people, however, anxiety becomes so frequent or so forceful that it begins to take over their lives. The majority of anxiety sufferers are able to function on a day-to-day basis, albeit with difficulty. But it is possible to worry so much that it starts to have a noticeable impact on your daily life. Anxiety can make you feel on edge, irritable, and unable to relax or concentrate. The way you think can be affected. If you fear that the worst is going to happen, you may start to see everything negatively and become very pessimistic. You may feel the need to frequently seek the reassurance of others. You may experience physical symptoms, headaches, and nausea, for example. To cope with these feelings and sensations, you may turn to smoking or drinking too much, or misusing drugs. You may hold on to relationships that either encourage your anxious outlook or help you avoid situations you find distressing, and so stop you dealing with what's worrying you. You may withdraw from social contact and also find going to work difficult and stressful. You may take time off sick. If your anxiety is severe, you may find it difficult to hold down a job, develop or maintain good relationships. Sleep problems may make your anxious feelings even worse and reduce your ability to cope. For some people, anxiety becomes so overwhelming that it takes over their lives and can cause long-term mental health problems. Whether you have occasional anxiety or a diagnosable disorder, the good news is that you can take effective and straightforward steps every day to manage and minimize your anxiety. Things can be changed for the better. There's plenty you can do to understand and help yourself. This audiobook will show you how. Some people find it really helpful to understand what anxiety is. Others just want to know what to do about it. They want advice, tips, and techniques. This audiobook does both. The chapters in Part 1 explain exactly what anxiety is and how it can present itself as generalized anxiety disorder, as panic attacks, phobias, OCD, and/or IBS. You will learn that anxiety manifests itself in 3 different ways: in the way you think, how you physically feel, and the way you behave. Part 1 also explains how your thoughts, feelings, and behavior affect each other. You will also be encouraged to question and challenge negative and anxious thoughts, as well as to learn how to replace negative thoughts with more helpful, realistic ways of thinking. In Part 2, Chapters 4 and 5 explain how to manage the cognitive aspect of anxiety, your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. Chapter 5 introduces you to ways you can use mindfulness to manage anxiety. It can, though, feel impossible to think clearly when you're flooded with anxiety. You may need to calm down physically first. Chapter 6 explains ways that you can manage the physical feelings that come with anxiety. Chapter 7 encourages you to focus on what you can change, rather than aspects of the situation that are beyond your control. You will learn how to find one small step you can take now, and discover that once you start